All right, folks, today we're going to talk about Twitter's new website analytics, yet another great feature that they forgot to tell anyone about. So here's how you're going to get to it and get it set up. First, you're going to log into Twitter's ads platform, ads.twitter.com. And you'll obviously have to authenticate with your Twitter account. I'm going to use my personal one and my personal website so that we can see this without, of course, giving away anything that would be confidential company information. In the analytics section, you're familiar with the timeline activity and the followers that tells you what's been happening with your tweets. But what you may not have seen, or may have just kind of poked around a little bit and noticed, was this websites feature. Like Pinterest and like a few other sites, Twitter now gives you the ability to authenticate your website with them and then see what's happening on Twitter that relates directly to your site. First, we'll need to authenticate. We're going to need this code here, and we're going to need to add this into the website's homepage. So I will go into my personal website here. I will go into the hooks section. Obviously, this setup is going to be very different depending on what web platform you're using, so certainly don't assume that your setup will look like this. You'll want to, once you've pasted the code into the head, you want to go to your website and just verify that it's actually there. There it is. I can see my Twitter account ID is in place. Go back to Twitter and we're going to authenticate. Verify this website. And there we are. You can see that this is the number of tweets that have mentioned my website's domain, ChristopherSpenn.com, and how many retweets and replies and clicks and favorites have been made on all of the tweets. We can also see the link activity, and this is super useful if you've got a couple of different link sharing platforms. So for example, Argyle Social has their links here. We see Hootsuite's links here. There are other people who have used Bitly links and things like that. And all these different ad platform or shortening platforms have their own analytics, but we can see everything that Twitter sees because of its own link shortening service. So this is a fantastic way of seeing all the different activities that are happening on your website. Even more importantly, you can see the stats, even if you don't have access to that Owly account or that Hootsuite account or that Argyle Social account, which is incredibly powerful because it means for the first time you can see what's happening with your content. So here's a piece shared by Social Fresh, our friends over at Social Fresh, on what Twitter's IPO means for marketers. This link obviously goes to my website, but I can't see the stats on it because Argyle Social is a paid platform. I can click on this, however, and I can see how many retweets or tweets this particular URL got, and I can see all of the link clicks on it and what that looks like over time. So even if I don't necessarily have access to the individual platforms and their links, I can see everything from Twitter's point of view, which is a terrific way of understanding what's happening on Twitter with your website. For marketers, this will tell us what tweets are performing and who is sharing stuff, whose tweets are getting the attention and the retweets and the shares. And for PR folks, this is a terrific way for you to check mentions, media mentions about your clients and things, because this tracks activity to the website itself. So this is an example here, the Social Fresh tweet. I'm not mentioned by name. My website's not mentioned by name. Nothing here is branded. So standard social media monitoring software would not pick this up. I would not see this. I would see some traffic coming from Twitter in aggregate in my web analytics, but I wouldn't necessarily know why. Now, with these new Twitter analytics, we can see exactly what's driving the traffic, even if the brand name isn't mentioned. So I would strongly encourage any marketer and any PR person, if you have access to the Twitter analytics platform and that they're rolling it out, it's not available to everyone, but they're rolling it out. Give it a try, see how it works. One way I've heard, anecdotally, to shortcut this is to, of course, take out a short, low-cost ad that will sort of activate your account for analytics if you don't have them already. So give that a try. Maybe spend $5 and see what happens. But Twitter analytics getting more and more powerful and continuing the fine tradition that Twitter has already started, not telling anyone about it. So give it a try, see how it works for you, implement it, and start making your tweets better.